Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm just glad you're here in Kidstown no matter what time of day it is, because we have a lot of fun things planned today. We're talking about gratitude all month long. Let's look at our life app for gratitude. And how we define that is we say it's letting others know you see how they've helped you. It's important to say it. It's important to let other people know that you're aware that without them, you'd be in trouble because they're helping you. That's important. It's important to say it. And so, do me a favor right now. Go find 3 people in your house and tell them thank you. And don't just say thank you. Say thank you for, and tell them something they do for you. Are you ready? We're going to put our 30-second timer on. And if you can't find 3 people, thank the dog. Or yell out to the neighbor. Or yell it up to God. But you got to find 3 thank yous. Ready? Go.
Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, now that we got that out of the way and you did your thank youing, I thought I'd share with you something fun I found at Target. And I'm using it to enhance my shout outs. It's a microphone that changes your voice so you sound like an elf. Watch. I don't sound like an elf. Let's play it.
I don't sound like an elf. Just kidding.
Oh man, it works great. So I've been using this to do shout outs, like to my cameraman. Thank you, Branson, for recording all my goofiness.
Thank you, Branson, for recording all my goofiness.
And we can use it to do a shout out to God like this. Thank you, God, for Thanksgiving and mashed potatoes.
Thank you, God, for Thanksgiving and mashed potatoes.
Right? Don't you love it? You know, speaking is shouting out and giving thanks. Before we get any further, we need to look at our memory verse. Let's look at it. It says, give thanks to the Lord because he is good and his faithful love continues forever. That's from Psalm 136, verse 1. Can you say it by heart yet? Keep practicing it. It's a good verse to put to memory. Before we get into anything else, we need to play a game. We haven't played a game in a long time, right? You know, life is full of all these opportunities to say things. We've been talking about that with gratitude. You might say they're kind of like fill-in-the-blank moments. There's those fill-in-the-blank moments where you should probably say something. And I would like to propose that when you're in that situation, you should fill in the blanks with gratitude. But speaking of filling in the blanks, I thought it'd be fun to play a little game. Have you ever played Mad Libs? Well, I have a funny story to share with you today. And to get my Mad Lib words, I went around and visited all the staff here at church and asked them to just give me a word. I didn't tell them what it was for. And I captured it with my phone. Are you ready to play? It's time now for our story. Our story is called Dun-da-da, A Gift from Outer Space. And here it goes. Once upon a time, there lived an
elated
girl and her equally
skinny
dog. The dog loved to
surf
and chew on
French fries.
One day the girl and her dog were
snorkeling
outside when there was a loud and
smelly
explosion. An unidentified flying
Booger!
had crash landed right there on the street. The girl and her dog were frightened, but they slowly crept towards the
Lumpy Bumpy.
Ship. Then, with a the ship's doors popped open, and there stood a
Super squishy!
alien. The alien took a few steps towards the girl and her dog and said,
Golly gee willikers!
The girl and her dog looked at each other for a moment. Then they decided to give the alien a token of humankind.
A piece of candy.
The alien took the prize, got back in its
Bombastic!
spaceship, and took off towards the heavens. The end. Oh, well, that was special, right? Well, let's go from the spaceship to worship. What do you say, huh?
Higher than all my ways. And your prayers are wiser than all my plans. Yeah. And your love is moving me every day. So I trust, even when I don't understand. Oh, yeah. Every step I take, every move I make, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow you, follow every day. Yeah, yeah. And every single moment, every single day, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day. Oh, yeah. Your eyes, they see farther than mine. Your hand is reaching out for my hand. Yeah, you're good. Oh, my Savior, you're good. Yeah. So I trust, even when I don't understand. Oh, every step I take, every move I make, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow you, follow every day. Yeah, yeah. So every single moment, every single day, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day. Whoa, yeah. F-O, double L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do. F-O, double L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do. F-O, double L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Every step I take, every move I make, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow you, follow every day. Yeah, yeah. Every single moment, every single day, I will follow, follow, follow. Follow every day. Whoa, F-O, double L-O-W, I'm gonna follow you. That's what I'm gonna do.
Woo! Oh, yeah. Let's do another thank you song today. We can never get enough of saying this.
Everywhere that I go, you're there with me.
Yep.
Even in the night when I cannot see, I know you're by my side and I will be just fine. Oh God, you're always good to me. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I will live my life to praise you, and lift you high. Every night and day, I'll follow in your ways. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I wanna say thank you, God. Every breath that I take, you give to me. Every brand new day is a blessing. I know you're by my side and I will be just fine. Oh God, you're always good to me. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I will live my life to praise you, and lift you high. Every night and day, I'll follow in your ways. forgiveness. I wanna say thank you for mercy and kindness, for grace that is endless, love and forgiveness. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I will live my life to praise you, and lift you high. Every night and day I'll follow in your ways. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you, God.
All right, awesome worship. Hey, let's have a fun Bible story. Are you guys ready for this? I hope you are, because it's a little crazy. Worshiping with you guys always puts a smile on my face, but so does this. Ooh. Hey, I'm a simple girl, and I get a kick out of simple things. But there is just something about fruit with googly eyes that kills me. Watch, there's more. Oh, yeah. Everyone. Hilarious. Ah. So, you can see I've been having fun during the lockdown with my hot glue gun and googly eyes. So we're going to use these guys today to tell our Bible story. Are you ready? Let's do it. Now, Jesus was a master storyteller, and he used everyday things to teach people about the kingdom of heaven. Now, I don't know if he ever used fruit with googly eyes, but he did use lots of cool examples, from farming to working in vineyards to sailing a ship, because whoever he was talking to, he knew what would resonate with those people. And so, in following with that tradition, I'm going to tell you a story using fruit. You're familiar with fruit, right? So I've added googly eyes. It makes it more fun. All right, let's begin. So one day, Jesus was talking with some of his closest friends, his disciples, and he was talking to them, like I said, about the kingdom of heaven. See, the kingdom of heaven is very different than how things work here on earth. The kingdom of heaven is the way God sees things and the way God manages things. And so he was explaining to some of his closest friends, and he decided to tell them a story to help them understand this concept. And our story today starts in the book of Matthew. Let's look at it. Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. And he said, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard." Here's our landowner. Wah, wah, wah. All right. And he went out early in the morning because he heard the rains were coming, and he needed to get his crop in, and he needed to hire a lot of extra help. So the landowner went out because the rains were coming, and he needed to get his field harvested that very day, and there was so much to do. So he went out looking far and wide to see if he could find any workers, like 6 in the morning, before the sun was even fully up. And he came across some people out there. Let's just say these are people. Doo-doo. And he said to them, I say, you men, look like you could use a job working in my fields. You want a job for the day?" And the apple said, "Absolutely, my friend. My colleagues and I would be pleased to work for you." And the orange said, "Ha, yeah, totally sure. We think it'd be gnarly to work for you today, bro." Ugh, I'll work as long as I get paid. And so the men agreed to give them a usual pay for a day's work, and he sent them off to the vineyard. So off they went. All right, with me? Okay. So the man agreed to give them the usual pay, and he looked around his fields as they began to work, and he realized, wait a minute, I still need more people. This isn't gonna work. These 3 guys can't possibly do all this work. So he went out again, like say 9 o'clock in the morning, And this time he went to the market. And he found more men hanging around doing nothing. All right. And he said to them, I say, you gentlemen, look like you could be working in my fields for the day. Y'all want a job? G'day, mate. I reckon I'd be chuffed to work for a man like yourself. What do you say, mate? Yo, I ain't got nothing to do today except pump iron and run laps. I gotta work on my six-pack. Whoa, mate. Oi, didn't expect that voice to come out of a boy like you. I figured you'd be sweeter. All right, so. Sweeter, huh? Sweeter? You wanna make something of it? Hey! Uh-oh. Now hold up, partners. Take that gumption and get that grit and get out on my fields. I'll pay you what's right and what is fair. And so they went out to work in the fields with the others. Do. And the landowner was surveying the fields, and he was watching the clouds, and he started to worry that he didn't have enough help still. By this time, it was about noon, and people were gathering in places to have lunch, so he went back out to see if he could find more workers. And he did. Aren't they cute? And he said his usual thing. I say, you look like you could use a job working in my fields for the day. You want a job? And they said, we do declare, Mr. Watermelon, we would love to work in your field. Hot diggity dog, you're hired. Go and join them other fellers. And then off they went. It was high noon, but they were ready to work, and he promised them a fair day's wage for their work. And so he went out to look around and see the progress of what was going on, and he decided, man, it's getting close to mid-afternoon. There's still so much to do. And so he went looking for more. He went looking for more help, and he found somebody. And he said, I say, you look like, shh. You want to blow my cover? I'm in disguise as a banana. Oh, sorry about that, my friend. I was just wondering. Shh. You want to keep it down there, Mr. Green Giant? There are ears everywhere. You sees what I mean? I gotta find a hideout. You got any jobs that would hide me in plain sight? Maybe working in a field with a bunch of other fruities? I think I got just the right spot for you. Head on down. I'll even pay you what's fair. And so he went down and joined the other fruities to blend in and work. Now you would think it's the middle of the day. It's got to be almost done, right? Because the sun goes down 5:30, 6 o'clock. But no, as he looked, he realized there's still more work to be done. I need more. And so he went out at 5 o'clock to see if there was anybody else who could help. And he ran into a whole bunch of other people. He found a whole bunch that needed a bunch of work to do. And so he talked to them and he said, I say, you bunch look like you could use a job working in my fields. You want a job for today? Oh yes, we have been here all day and no one has hired us. Please, give us something to do. Why, you get them workers kicked into high gear for sure with that voice. Head on out to the field, you young whippersnappers. And so, off they went. Whee! Okay, all right. So now, just to recap, he hired workers at 6 a.m., 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. So now it came time to pay up, right? The sun went down, the field was harvested, the landowner was happy, and so he paid them. First, The guys that showed up at 5, he paid them a day's wage. Here you go. Thank you. Hey! Next, the ones who had started at 3 p.m. Shh, just pay me cash, please. Cash is king. Here's your full day's wage. And off he went. And next, it was our friends, the strawberries. Here you go, a full day's pay. All right. I do declare, Mr. Watermelon, we worked longer than those other fruits. We feel we should get more. Well, here you go. You're still just getting a full day's pay. That was interesting. He paid him exactly the same. And they said, well, I never in all my years. All right. Then the owner had to pay the workers who started at noon. Here you go, a full day's wage. By my calculations, we should be getting more money than that. But they accepted it and they walked off. They were not happy though. And finally, the people who started right in the morning. Oh, one of them lost an eye. I hope there's disability insurance. So he said to them, here you go, your day's wages. And then they said, whoa, 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 dude. Those other people only work like for 1 hour or something. And he said, yeah, what gives? We've been sweating in the sun, in the hot sun all day in that field of yours. But the owner simply answered, my friends, comb your pits down for a second. I'm being fair to y'all. Didn't I say I'd pay you a fair day's wage? Now take your money and go. So the fruit grumbled all their way. They didn't understand. Frankly, they weren't happy and they didn't get it. So, what is the point of this story? Do you agree with the fruit? Was the landowner not being fair? Let's think about it for a minute. Did he promise them that he'd give them a full day's wage for work? He did. And did he pay them that? Yeah, he did. He did what he said he was going to do. But the problem starts when the fruit start looking around at everybody else and what kind of deal they're getting, huh? Well, Jesus was telling this story because he wanted us to understand something about the kingdom of heaven. First of all, that God gives freely to everyone, and nobody deserves to get really anything. So whatever God chooses to give, he can give what he wants to whom he wants. And instead of worrying about what somebody else has got, here's our bottom line, adjust your attitude. Adjust your attitude to gratitude. Hey, they rhyme. Gratitude and attitude rhyme. Do you think that's a coincidence? Well, we want things to be fair, and I understand that. I want things to be fair too. But honestly, only God really knows what's fair because he knows everything all at once. And here's a promise from his word that would kind of help us put those things to rest. He says in Philippians 4:19, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory. See, God will provide for our needs. He may not give us all the same kind of things at all the same times, but he knows exactly what you need when you need it. And here's another passage that I love from Psalm 37. It says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord and trust him, and he will do this. He'll make your righteous reward shine like the dawn and your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. See? And you know what? Those desires, they may not be what you think they are. I think God knows what our desires are when we don't even know what they are. But the promise is that if we take delight in him, He's going to satisfy our spirit, and He's going to give us joy that we didn't even know we could have. And so where should our focus be? Not here, not here, not what they're doing, not what they're doing. It should be here, because He's the one who meets our needs. He promises us that. So as you prepare your hearts for Thanksgiving, I want you to think about that. Are you jealous of what other people have? Do you look around and wish you could do this or do that? Stay off social media. That's my first clue for a tip for you for today. But as you approach Thanksgiving, I want to challenge you to be thankful for what you have. Be thankful to the vineyard worker who's giving you what he promised. All right? Okay, before we go, I'm going to tell you about a funny song. There's a funny song, and the link is in the description of this video. It's a Thanksgiving song, and it's going to put a big smile on your face. So I hope you'll take time to click on that link. And until next week, keep practicing your shout outs to God and being thankful, all right? I'll see you here next week.